everybody, this week's video was all about helping you navigate the myriad of gestures that is Talkback. But before we get to that, I forgot to mention the most important gesture of all, and that's how to turn the darn thing on in the first place. So if you're new and you don't know how to turn Talkback on, what you've got to do is tap on Settings, Accessibility, Vision, Talkback, and then you'll find the on-off switch in there. You just tap on the virtual switch and that will turn your Talkback app on. Also, just a heads up, I apologize ahead of time for the weird clicking that you'll hear towards the end of the video. Hopefully it's not too distracting, but this is my second time recording this video because my camera died the night before, so I didn't want to do it yet again. But I figure it's probably some interference with the mic somehow, so not sure how that happened, but apologies in advance. Anyway, with that said, let's get to it.
Low on vision, high on tech. CircleOfTheBlindMice.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to Circle of the Blind Mice. My name's Tammy, your friendly neighborhood blind mouse that likes to babble about technology. This week's tech video is all about 15 gestures to help you navigate Talkback. And special thanks to Dave Hodges for requesting this video and giving me a friendly nudge to finally get this one done. It's actually something I've been wanting to do ever since I started this channel. I know I keep saying that, but it really is true. I have so many ideas and not enough time to film everything as quick as I'd like. But without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing that you will need to know as a Talkback user, this is probably obvious to a lot of you, but just in case you're new, the first thing you need to know is how to select an item. So it's a two-step process. First, you just tap it once, and then Talkback will tell you what the item is, like this. 1454. Then you double tap it to select it, like this. The second thing you're going to want to know is how to access your notification menu, because it's got all the controls and bells and whistles in your phone to help you customize it, such as your settings and your do not disturb mode and so on and so forth. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this. And I should mention that although I said I'm showing you 15 ways, technically I'm showing you actually more than 15 gestures, because some of these gestures have more than one way to do a gesture, and I'll show you both ways in those instances. All right. So to access your notifications menu, the first way is to swipe your finger from left to right and then downwards. So swipe right and then down like this. 2:55 p.m. Notification panel. Now there's another way you can do this, and that is by taking two fingers, and it doesn't really matter how far apart they are, and then you can swipe down from top to bottom like this. Now, one thing you'll notice, though, is sometimes when you do the swipe down for your notification shade, instead you actually end up getting your quick settings. And I haven't been able to find rhyme or reason as to how you get one or the other. And of course, now it's not cooperating for me. It's just giving me the notifications. Let me keep trying. Oh, here we go. See, so sometime, and yeah, so like I seem to be doing the same gesture. And when I tried filming this last night before my camera died, this is take 2 on this, there you go, it did the opposite. I got 3 times where I got the quick settings, and then that one time where I got the notification. So it's kind of hit and miss. But if you find yourself like where you go like this, where you swipe down and you get the notifications panel, you can just go to the upper right hand corner and you'll find the quick settings button there as well. So once you're in your notification menu, you also find on the upper right hand corner, besides the quick settings, there's also system settings, and we're going to go that next to demonstrate the next point. So the third and fourth commands you're going to want to know is how to select the next and the previous items. So this is important whether you're in a list or you're scrolling through a bunch of links or a bunch of paragraphs, depending on how you've got your phone set up to go through various items. But in any case, to go to the next item, you swipe from left to right, like this. And so for those who can't see what's happening, the focus box that goes around the text that Talkback is reading, it jumps down line by line in this case because I am in a list. But it can also jump right to left if your items are going from right to left. It just depends on the layout. Okay, and apparently I forgot which language I speak because I said from right to left, but I actually meant from left to right. So again, folks, that's from left to right, not from right to left. Now, there's also another way that you can do this as well. Rather than swiping left to right, you can accomplish the same thing by swiping from top to bottom like this. So you're going to swipe down. Now, still on the mode of selecting next and previous or previous and next, you can go from swiping from swiping from bottom to top to go to the previous item like this. And as you might have guessed, you can also swipe from right to left, so you're swiping left, again to go to the previous item. The fourth and fifth gestures are a quick way to get to the bottom or the top of a page. So let's say you have a page with a whole bunch of text and you just want to jump right to the top or right to the bottom. So they call this changing the focus to the top or the bottom. So what you do, if let's say, so I'm at the top of my list right now. Let's say I want to go to this last link that is visible on the page. And I do stress that it doesn't take you to the very, very, very bottom of the page that's beyond what you see on your phone. It's the bottom of what's visible on your phone. So to do that, what you do is you swipe down and then back up real quick like this. So the focus box just jumped from the top of the list down to the bottom. So you can do the opposite. Now, the odd thing about the opposite is rather than going to the top of this list here, it actually is going to take us to the settings heading at the top of the upper left-hand corner, but I'll show you. So you're going to swipe up and then down real quick. So now it's jumped way up there. And if I then do the next command,
search button. Options button. Next pen. Accessibility. Help. Edit quick settings. Bluetooth.
It's brought us back down to this list there. The sixth gesture is the ability to go to your home screen. Now, if you're on a Samsung device like me, you're going to have a physical home button that you can simply press to go to your home screen like so. But not all Android phones have a physical home button. They have what's called capacitive buttons, which can make it difficult to find if you cannot see. So what you can do instead is swipe up and then to the left, and that will bring you to your home screen like this. The seventh Talkback gesture allows you to get an overview of all of your apps that are currently open. To do this, you just do a L going from right to left, so you're swiping left and then up. The eighth gesture is not specific to Talkback, but I want to show it because it actually does work still within Talkback. So if you want to be able to change which screen is your home screen, choose your widgets, choose your wallpaper, or also you can access settings in there as well. You take two fingers, space them apart, and then pinch them together like this. So here you will find the option to change which is your home screen, change your wallpaper, your widgets, etc. The ninth gesture allows you to go back to the previous screen. So not back in a list, but back to the previous screen. So to do this, you swipe down and then left. The 10th command is the ability to scroll forward. So this is one of those commands that actually has two ways to do it. So the first way is to swipe, if you want to scroll forward, is to swipe from left to right and then back again real quick. So you go left to right and then back left again, like this.
Showing items 3 to 4 of 6. Music.
And then, of course, to go back, you swipe from right to left and then right again, like this.
Home screen 4 of 6. Previous track. Disabled button. Home screen 3 of 6. Showing items 4 to 3 of 6.
Now, I'm not a big fan of these two commands because I don't know about you, but I keep getting confused on which way I'm going, because you're going back and forth. You're going right, left, right, and it's like, okay, which one am I doing? But there's an easier way to do it. You can instead just take two fingers and then place them on the screen together at the same time, and then in tandem, just drag your fingers across the screen. So if I want to scroll forward, I'm going to drag my fingers from the right of the screen to the left of the screen like this.
Home screen 3 of 6. Showing items home screen. Home screen 5 of 6.
So much faster and so much more intuitive, in my opinion, than going back and forth. And then, of course, the opposite is true. You can go from left to right to go back and scroll back to where you were.
Home screen.
This also works for scrolling up and down a list like this. So you can take your two fingers and just drag them from the bottom to the top to scroll up, or drag from the top to the bottom to scroll down.
Home.
The 13th gesture, and this is one of the key gestures I'll go into more depth in a future video, is to be able to bring up the global context menu. And to do that, you swipe down and then right like an L.
Middle global context menu.
This menu is going to give you various reading options, such as reading from top, reading from down from the next item, and so forth. Again, I will go into that in more depth in a future video. And the other important context menu is the local context menu. Now, before I mention that, back to the global context menu for a second. The global context menu always is the same regardless of where you are in your phone. The local context menu, however, will look different and have different options depending on what app you are in or where you are in your phone. So to get the local context menu, you swipe up and then right.
Middle local context menu. Showing items 1 to 6.
And you're going to use this menu for things like copying and pasting and selecting how when you're selecting your next and previous items, it'll determine what kind of item you're selecting, you're jumping to. Are you jumping to another letter? Are you jumping to the next word, next line, next paragraph, etc.? And again, I'll go through that in more depth in a future video. So that brings us to the 15th gesture, which is actually not specifically a gesture in itself, but Talkback does give the ability to be able to customize your gestures. There are several gestures such as swiping right then up and swiping left then down that are unassigned. And so you can actually go into those options and you can actually choose from a number of options to customize. So if you don't like one of the existing Talkback shortcut gestures, you can actually go into the Talkback settings menu, into the manage gestures menu, and you can actually pick which gesture you want to assign to one of these unassigned gestures. There is actually a 16th customization as well, and that's the ability to, and this is in the experimental stage, but you can assign 3 side tap gestures. I believe it's 3. Let me just double check here.
Double side tap unassigned. Single side tap unassigned. Tap detector sensitivity medium.
Pardon me. You can assign 2 side tap gestures, so either one tap or double tap, to also do one of the Talkback commands, and it's up to you on how you customize it, and you can also choose the sensitivity. So these are all the basic gestures that you will need to navigate your way around Talkback. In a future video, I will talk about how to do more advanced things, such as using the local and global context menus to do things like copying and pasting and choosing how your selections go, etc. Thanks very much for watching. I will talk to you in the next video. Here at Circle of the Blind Mice are bringing these videos because I believe technology enriches the lives of those of us with visual impairments. My mission is to help you learn tech, use tech, and embrace tech. Please share this video to help spread the word to your fellow blind mice, and if you're new here, please subscribe for new videos every Saturday. Thanks for watching.